Wait and see. Overpasses are decider if Cloud9 can come back now, and they better, or this will be an underwhelming Katowice to forget.
Early on, everyone over towards this A side of the map for Cloud9. Just one man here from the IHC ranks back in spawn. It's Annihilation. Everyone else leaning B, but bLitz has gone full aggro through mid to open up this round. He's coming in on a backstab. If Annihilation can just stay alive here, they're teed up for a retake round. Cloud9 wanted to take CT away. They had the util to do this. Flashes to try and set them up. They've even spotted bLitz on his wrap through the back line. This fight is important, but he can't win it. Falls short. His teammates will succeed in the meantime. A man advantage situation. IHC trying to keep the pacing high on this retake. It's already forced a molly out of Cloud9. They wanted that for the defuse, but instead it's had to come out early. Buster removed. Shiro in an impossible clutch. The bomb's not planted for him. And even though these taps are nice, there's no winning this round for Shiro. IHC pull up. And they continue where they left off. And a pistol round goes their way for their third in this series.
And I love that because I remember the opening round of Cloud9 and IHC on Mirage. It was the same setup, Harry. It was a T-spawn flank. It was a CT retake on A, but they did not buy a kit. They had full armor, and Cloud9 did the same damn strategy. They had a Molotov for the post plant that they didn't even need. This time, kit smoke, and it makes all the difference. This is what we talk about when we say the improvements for IHC. They smoke the bomb, they win it out on gunfight, and they defuse while Shiro finds 4 headshots. It does not matter. And this was even the narrative we were pushing in the first map, because it's not like Cloud9 came in cold individually. They took those aim fights, as Kassar said on the desk, and IHC came out better for it. This is still a map Cloud9 are favored in. Don't delude yourself. But IHC already taking a pistol round and already showing presence in apartments. They want to force more fights. Not ready for Axel there. Buster's Galil even pops around the corner, and Techno needed 2. He can't. The beat screams Cloud9, and locked out of the B site is IHC.
Yeah, they try to set the pace, try to set the precedent in this one, but it's come back to haunt them. That triple push through the apartments held by Cloud9. And now just Bartak walking in to the lonely Hobbit on his journey, deals with that attempted save. And so Cloud9 respond immediately this time.
And that's such a sigh of relief for Cloud9, because what did they do in the first 5 rounds of T-Side Inferno, that second half? They chased the money game, didn't they? They got lulled in by the idea of breaking IHC's CT economy. They force, and then they force some more. And, you know, so getting 3-4K rounds, but it didn't matter because I actually won every single retake. This time that doesn't happen, and Cloud9 immediately give them a dose of reality.
Smoking top com, but it's not going to get rid of bLitz. The scout of Annihilation even landed a tag onto Nafany, and you see bLitz moving in now to the connector to try and take this real estate away. He heard that tag. He knows that someone's wounded here. Cloud9 virtually up and leave it. They're going to entrust it to Hobbit, playing mid alone.
Yeah, one thing we've seen a lot of Buster doing on Cloud9 in the couple of maps they've played on Mirage is this Palace lurk on the T side, often alone, this time joined by Shiro, as Cloud9 split this A side.
I think bLitz made a footstep there, and Hobbit heard it. He's now found this gap up through the connector. IHC have got no idea this guy's here. 2 of these guys for Cloud9 are both tagged up, and the bomb gets away from them, tumbles away at ramp. They don't know about Bartak, who's playing around this Molotov. That is a big spam for Axel to have found. Him and Shiro making this one happen.
And they're wondering where bLitz has got to. This was a guy who crept lower, no? He's made it all the way around the world, but they are eyes on the prize. Scores looking towards ramp. There's a rifle there. He's going to take it. Under balcony, knows his planter cannot be far, but he hasn't looked in the right direction. Going further afield, and they will shut him down on the trade. 3 kills for Shiro, 8-1 on the opener. Damn good start to the game for Cloud9. They almost get forced right back. That would have been a tumultuous beginning to this map, but instead Cloud9 land on their feet just about. Slight sway, but still putting IHC back to a full eco now. Should give us a few rounds for Cloud9 to start stronger.
Yeah, fast round here. Shiro set up to take connector very, very quickly with this MAC-10. Hobbit even donning the AWP here. And it's interesting to note because Shiro obviously got out of that last round with an AK. He comes into this, drops that over to someone else and purchases up this MAC-10 to be the front man, to be the point man for Cloud9 and make a bit more money. Orpas, they love it. And so Shiro looking to set himself up for the future. Right? Hobbit will be giving that AWP to him. At this point, it's just about making cash with this MAC-10, and there's a lot of bodies around the corner in CT.
They're saying, come, fight, try it. We've got everyone here. We are ready to set up. Axel finds bLitz on top, though. And Shiro's going to get flashed in deep, so he can actually take some 1v1s. I love that. Set up the rifle for the range game. Grab what kills you can, but then run away from the bomb. Shiro will re-attempt it. Nothing to lose, really. He's upgrading anyway going into a gun round, and all four of the rifles will survive. Hobbit made sure that AWP will make it into Shiro's hands in the follow-up. This is IHC's buy round. This is really, if we want to be honest, where Cloud9 should start to flex their muscles, right? They know they've already messed up by dropping a map in this series. Supposed to be a world-beating team. Can't be at threat of elimination this early in the lower bracket. They're playing FaZe, the winner of this game, so Cloud9 at least got to make it there, you'd think. They've come in strong to Mirage. 3-1 and full respect in middle. They've got everything they want. Scores in ladder. Don't know just yet. bLitz getting that smoking down lower buys a bit more time.
Yeah, a lot of respect being given to Cloud9 over here in middle. But it's when they try to do anything with the extremities here. That's what IHC are accounting for. Ooh, that is a big kill for Hobbit to have picked up. Score on the receiving end. He was in ladder room, right, playing this crossfire with his captain. Score often the kind of right-hand man of bLitz. Flash through, trying to retake on, but Hobbit, that is clean. A lovely spray transfer from him. And a flawless round about to be bestowed upon Cloud9. Annihilation is moving over towards B, but doesn't want to go much further. Everyone from Cloud9 is hunting. Little does he know it. He's got a 1v2 in the sight right now, and one of these players is very low.
Oh dear.
This is starting to get a little concerning. Now, I don't think on like numbers alone, he should never give this a look in, right? And they will check for him. Buster not going to let any sort of treachery, any sort of trickery happen there.
Dude, if he gets that kill, like he has a 1v1 and he has a chance, but obviously not to know how free the site is there. That's the idea for Cloud9. Score, taking a wide swing. I think he got mollied out by Nafni. He was lower with a molly. I don't know if he put it in window or ladder, but that would explain why Score swings. Cloud9, nice clear in middle. And Annihilation's flash into con to save the day. Not only blinded his teammates, but Hobbit gets away with a brutal spray. I was going to say, Score, if he fired, that might have been an opening kill, but Shiro just creeps into the angle and takes that first frag in the round. 10-2. Nice start for Shiro. Just Deegs. 5-7 for IHC. Middle is such an important point of the map in this game specifically, especially with how we saw that previous BO1 go between these teams. It was on the other half that was more interesting. IHC often late took mid in gun rounds, and Cloud9 would have triple and sometimes quad setups in middle just to shut them down there. They would be willing to throw any amount of players at the problem, and they often won it, taking a bunch of 2v2s from mid fights alone and then closing them. But IHC have shown no interest in actually fighting for mid in this CT side yet, and if they don't, Cloud9 will walk all over them. Going to look to gun rounds to see if that changes. A little peek for Annihilation, doesn't see Hobbit tucked in, but the rest of Cloud9 are hitting B.
Oh, Techno and bArtak making this interesting. It gets really awkward now. That's the bomb dropped. Damage done from bArtak's Deagle. Shiro drops into the belly of the beast, but he's in this one all alone. Annihilation taps one out with the D. 10 seconds for Shiro to cook up an impossible clutch. And he's deleted. bArtak with the double. Techno battling alongside him in a valiant hold of that B bomb site. And that is huge. The stand-in stands up, and the young gun delivers alongside him.
That's unreal, dude. Those were insane shots for that range with a 5-7. He was tucked in Edward, and he tapped out 2 falling in players before they could even barely damage him. bArtak buys time and somehow closes it onto Shiro, who we've seen snuffed out, Harry, in 3 1v2s in this series. It's the openers that he's been good for, and that's more like it. Oh, Speedy Cat, quick take, Nafany. It's so ugly. That spray, if he lined it up, he had Annihilation looking the other way. Instead, he tries to just full commit, and Annihilation gets bailed out. IHC quickly respond into a 4-on-4, and they give up the A site. He sees a barrel, and he takes a leg. Buster gone. 4-on-2 now as Techno from afar fires off, and bLitz goes overstairs. They are just 1v1ing and winning them all out right now as Cloud9 are caught out on islands, on limbs, and no trades in this round.
You know, after losing that first map for Cloud9, the question was, you know, was it going to ignite this fire underneath them, right? Was it going to force them to kick things up a gear? Because they never envisioned being in this position, staring down the barrel of elimination. For IHC, they've been the underdog versus damn near every team they've played, right? It is one where they've always put everything they can muster into the game. They've committed, you know, their hearts and minds to the counter they've played here. There's this idea that, you know, you kind of somewhat reserve yourself based on the games you're playing, based on, you know, whether you're favorites, what it demands of you. And for Cloud9, they probably thought this was going to be an easy day in the office. But now it is requiring that step up, right? Yeah. Bridging that gap, having to fully commit yourself to the game. And those losses, they're the ones that hurt the most. A force back in for Cloud9. IHC with a chance to break them early and take the lead. This is a golden opportunity, and IHC cannot let it slip by.
You know, they can feel that as well, with the weight of not just their country, but their entire region on their shoulders. It's quite some pressure for IHC. But they've come this far. Cloud9, very strong positions in this round. They are in connector. IHC know about the potential, but they don't have that guarantee, that knowledge. 30 seconds. Cloud9 ready to pop. bArtak pops ahead. Hobbit out of Palace. He sees a second. If you can stop the bomb in Palace, that would be massive, but Shiro spams a smoke. Annihilation forced out of position, wants to try and stop this bomb from crossing it. Takes a wide fight as a flash comes out, and that will get Shiro into the site to fight with his team. There's more util to come, though. IHC keeping the pressure on, and they can stop this bomb. Far shot for bLitz! And he transfers to 2 more heads. He has shut them out. The captain of IHC sends Cloud9 calamity.
Unbelievable! And as if you needed more proof that the level is raised, the bar has raised for IHC. That is wild from bLitz. No respect for his opponent there. He slams the hammer down. Unbelievable play.
Dude, every shot pristine. It looked like he almost whiffed that first kill. He goes into a perfect transfer to find 2 headshots and then even predicts the 4th. And that's the in-game leader. Could Nafany do that? Remains to be seen. 0-6 on the other side. My God. They are putting on a highlight reel today, Harry. This team already eliminated Furia. Top 8 from the previous major. Out. And now they want to try and take Cloud9 with them, huh?
It's crazy. You know, bLitz, he's been with the bulk of these guys for years now, right? The core of this team, at least. He's seen their developments, and now they're seeing his. They're learning that their captain has got what it takes to perform in these moments. And there's a real feeling of faith around IHC right now for Cloud9. The money broken. A round stolen away by just one man has left them in the dirt. bRTAC back in spawn. He's given us some great games today as this guy, and even remaining measured here, not wanting to offer anything up to these pistols. It's not until bLitz finds that opener that bRTAC even really tries to get involved here. Just trying to have a bit of a save from the spawn. Not able to spam out the bomb planter. But still a threat, still a nuisance. Doesn't want to go down, doesn't want to give up CT, and so he won't. A 1-for-1 before he's dealt with. A reload having to come in for Axal, wasting precious time. Techno set up, back in the spawn, is bested.
Okay.
Maybe some legs on this one, but Axal's so wounded, so tagged up. It's going to take something huge. Up and over the top here. First kill connects, but they're on the bomb, and there's no stopping them for Axal. Try as he might, gives it all he has for 3 in the round and a plant for Cloud9, but IHC still put a 5th on the board.
Yeah, and the most interesting part as well is like how many young players we have in this IHC team. You know, Cloud9, they were the youngsters at one point, Harry, literally by name. They were the coolest kids on the block coming in and stealing titles away during the online era. IHC still average a year younger than this Cloud9 squad, and so much less experience as well. But the amount of improvements in such a short space of time coming to Europe has been immense. Now this 5-4, this is the sheer amount of rounds that IHC were able to field in their debut in Katowice against Cloud9 on Mirage. They got 16-5, Harry, and right now they are already there with more to find. Nice shot for Axile. 8-0 in openers, back on Inferno. It mattered not. But he will crack the skull off of the main AWP. It's up to score instead. Hobbit will trial with him in short side. It's actually Nafany who gets picked. Hobbit, can he trade? Molly's down. Score misses his shot. Hobbit takes his chance to live. Smoked out as he concedes in a 4-on-4. And again, they're not playing to lose. They're playing to win. The amount of ballsy moves IHC have made in this series. bRTAC's on one of them right now, but he doesn't know. Right above him sits Axile. Oh! No.
bRTAC now dead, and that's going to leave a gaping hole in the defense. Cloud9 are quick to react. They know that with a kill like that, the A side of the map is clear. They're moving in with the bomb. You've only got a handful of chances to regain control over this one, IHC. Cloud9 are going for the throat. Techno back in spawn, drops that smoke. Bomb crossing in here. It's on Buster. He's low, could get spammed, and he will. Techno finds the 3v3. Set up with a flash now from Score. The young gun trying to play into this, wants to come through the smoke. Oh, they're not ready for him. Techno adds another to the tally. So little time left. It's going to force a safe plant. Going to force something a little safer. Could have been denied by Score, but he plays around the nade instead. Yeah. The AWP was holding him. Shiro is waiting for that fight. Cloud9 have stumbled back to their feet here, and now they've got to stop bLitz, but this guy's been a thorn in their side. He had one chance to land that, and Shiro will.
And remember that round back on Inferno where there was a collat and Axel had to take the AWP for Shiro? I just saw a disagreement in that round for Cloud9. Buster was on 10 health. He dropped his gun to Shiro, asking for the AWP, and Shiro did not give it. He did not bog down Buster. He kept that AWP, and he threw him the bomb instead. He forced Buster to plant when he got spammed out, and thank God he did, because Shiro goes on to win 2 kills and close that 2v2 with the AWP. He is not playing around. He is not here to help his team. He is here to win. He regretted it once before, and he won't do that twice.
Yeah, it shows, you know, he's really kind of taking that pressure inward. He's trying to channel it. He's trying to become the hero figure that Cloud9 need.
He needs to be.
And that's not often a Shiro move. That's not really what you attribute to this guy. But he's getting direct with it now. He's getting demanding because he knows he's got that star power.
The best time to be selfish. And sure, Buster may not like it, but you boy on the block has got to earn his respect. Coming out from under, Axile. Annihilation was the first to get picked on triple last round. He might again pulls a nade. He's already through it. There's no respect on the Cloud9 side. Axile's already up on top. Score. Chased down by Nafni, his first kill in this round, and Annihilation hits a leg. The Bartak can finish 2 kills in middle, an area of contention last time. IHC will win it. Cloud9 have window though, and they're walking right into the Lion's Den. Hobbit with another. Just going to smoke that out, not let Cloud9 come through, give them the A site, and they'll take it. A ballsy plant in the open. Cloud9 recognize their opportunity, but they're playing double CT. The bomb is not for this position. This is a very dangerous move, and it's going to come down to these CT fights. 2 players of IHC coming through.
Out with the swing. Hobbit dead. Very separate game plan here. That's nearly the lineup. The Glock could do this. Techno is low and fighting with a pistol of his own, but he's going to win it. bLitz was there to help him every step of the way. For Cloud9, an individual game plan on that swing in the 2v3. Maybe the cracks are starting to show here.
Yeah, Hobbit just goes for it. Shiro's not even with him. He's not even in position to swing with the guy. Sure, swinging with the AWP, not what you want. But at the same time, just digging graves, their own graves, burying their own bodies at Cloud9 and wasting their opportunity. 6-5. The fact that this is competitive out the gate, that it's back and forth, that was Inferno all over. But it never truly felt like IHC were going to do it. In the back of my mind, I was ready for Cloud9 to unleash the beast. I don't know if they've got it today. They've got to show us something. Because this is already a scary sign with the cracks beginning to show. And IHC trying to cause an earthquake. Will the ground swallow Cloud9 whole?
I mean, this is where the pressure comes in, right? This is where there's that pressure factor for Cloud9. They know there's a lot of eyes on them, not just because of the Buster move, but just because the expectations for this squad are so much higher than what we've been getting. And it was always going to be the case that the individuals felt like they needed to give more, but you hope that that doesn't break down the team, the big picture, as everyone's focusing inward for IHC. The only thing they've had throughout all these tours in Europe is each other, is the guy next to them. Cloud9 have got mid control.
B split.
Looking like they want to try and come up the catwalk, split this B side of the map. bLitz waits in window. Hobbit's taking connector. They've got a lot of real estate here. Cloud9, this is all the makings of a solid B split. bLitz might try and catch them. Crossing in the window. Nade out for Buster. Nearly caught crossing, and now that info gain is there. IHC starting to move players over. Score falls immediately. Techno checked out on the balcony, and bLitz dead in rotation. Cloud9, that round comes together.
Yeah. Nice opener for Nafni, right? That kill on the score was everything. A first domino to fall, and Techno turns from a flash that never comes. Annihilation's on a fight for survival right now. Oh, Nafni's not making it easy for him, though. A nade into Con would be the kill, but he's not going to throw it out. He doesn't know, and Nafni will stop him in his tracks. Bit by bit, Cloud9 wake up, and they field yet another. We've got a tech and a breather, but no one can talk in this one. What an unbelievable world we're in. I mean, the pure expectation is that Cloud9 should be taking this map and taking us to a third. Up at that point, it's anyone's guessing game until I actually prove they can. But I find it most impressive that the teams they're challenging most are these teams where in-game leaders have been questioned recently, right? Not just eliminating Furia, a top 10 team in the world, and previously at the Major making a run in the playoffs. But Nafany as well on Cloud9, an in-game leader who's come under a lot of scrutiny. And when Cloud9 made the change of adding Buster into the team, a lot of experts suggested maybe Nafany should have been in that chopping block as well, or even instead.
Yeah, one of the other things that's so wild, you know, Cloud9, not a team that lose to underdogs usually.
Yeah. The last time they did was Imperial back at Antwerp in that Challenger stage. They went 1-3 inside that stage, and they got 2-1 by Imperial, a shocking result at the time anyway. But put that up in there for a second and think about that. It's been almost a year, about 7 months since Cloud9 have lost to an underdog. That's an unbelievable statistic, considering upsets happen every single day in Counter-Strike and the open circuit that allows for upcoming teams of any range, any region. That's a shocking score. But Cloud9, they might add to it today. However, I have a lot more confidence in what I'm seeing in this map, even with some little mistakes. 6 rounds with a near guaranteed 7th. A stack for IHC, but it's only USPs. Cloud9 are no fools. They know what to expect. They are on the lookout for 5A right now, and they should be just fine.
Yeah, Util is separate this hold. 5 becomes 3 very quickly as the smokes rain in, cutting off these sight lines. It's not going to be some heroic USP round today. Score would love a little bit of damage here. But when you've seen 4 at the A site, you should be ready for a 5th. Well, that one's going to sail on past him. Cloud9 with a 7th. They take their freebie round in their stride, keeping 5 alive.
Good.
That's critical. That set them up to keep the investments coming in till the end of the half.
And again, this scoreboard is top heavy, right? Shiro 16-8, Axel 12-7. Both of them 6-0 in opening duels combined. It's 3 apiece. So much as Inferno, the stars are stepping up for Cloud9, as they should be in a game like this. What have IHC got for us? They had a pause after that tech. They're throwing in a mid-take. 2 players running at the top. Nafany alone. He needs some help. He's holding a smoke for a Molotov. They're not throwing fire. They're throwing hands. They're throwing fists in your face. Shiro, quick pick out of the A site. They run out of Palace, and the Famis lets Blitz down. It's up to Annihilation. Wide plant. That default spam won't do a thing. They're going to get the bomb in. Techno run at, and with that molly and the smoke, he had nowhere to go and nowhere to hide. Cloud9 surprise IHC, even though they had that play to get an opening kill. I love the pace called by Nafany. Just send him out into the A site. Cloud9 had a huge gap, and they take it and they close it. 8-round T side at bare minimum. They've won the half.
Yeah, 3 in a row now as well. Looking for that magic 4th to really cement this as a T side that they can be proud of. A back and forth nature to this one, right? Little of a different vibe to the opening map in this series, where we saw IHC have a good start, go 4-0 up, and then we had an immediate 9-round streak for Cloud9. That felt like it was going to set the tone for this series. We all remember how Inferno ended. IHC closing that one out at 16-14. They're going to be tasked with a similar sort of comeback here, one where they have to keep themselves in this against overwhelming odds at a Cloud9 that are rebuilding. Ramp taken. IHC have done this a lot. Blitz has loved kind of calling the bluff on the A ramp hold early. It's in the reaction to this info that IHC have sometimes been left lacking, right? This time, no shuffle over towards the B site, so it's these 2 defenders. Score with 1. Oh my! Score! How's he gotten away with that? There was a man in the apartments. There was a man in there. And now, Bartak with the wraparound, trying to drive this one home.
Not ready for 2.
Score has done them in. The B play denied, and now Shiro has to deliver in the clutch. He's not been given much, and they're asking a lot of him. Too much, in fact. Blitz with the wraparound, and IHC from nowhere finds 7 at the end of the first half.
This is it. This is now official. Na'Vi are going to play in Spodek. NPL will get to play in the big arena. It is not yet the end for Liquid, but they did have a hard time. Unfortunately, they got dominated on the first map. And on the second map, even though they took Na'Vi to double OT, still, in the end, Na'Vi was way stronger. We'll see how will Liquid recover afterwards, but yeah, this is basically what happened on the A stream.
Cloud9 were hoping that on this second map, on their map pick, the one that they dominated IHC on in the opening, that they could find some solace, that they could find the promise of a third map, that elimination was not staring them dead in the face. But IHC have remained resilient throughout Mirage. A 7-8 first half, it's anyone's game. For IHC, potential elation at the end of this one. For Cloud9, devastation if they come up short. A fast play out of Palace into A, but Hobbit waits with bated breath. Back of the site, he is gone. Shiro does what he can to turn the tide. Tees up Cloud9 for a 4v3 retake.
They got two nades in the post plant. They're just going to lob them over stairs, but no one was there yet for Cloud9. The flank, wasted opportunity for Napoli. He's going to have to finish this kill now. Annihilation almost runs to Tetris. Doesn't get there in time. Crossfire, bLitz stuck, nowhere to look, but up, and Shiro and Buster fire down from above. It's going to be a pistol for Cloud9. At the end of the day, Harry, even though this is close, even though we've had some banging rounds for IHC, it's still an 8-round T-side for Cloud9 and a 9-round after pistol. They are in pole position. They are leading this game, and as they should be. No celebration for Cloud9 on Mirage. They need to make this quick. They need to make it clean. And then we've got Overpass to finish. This is Cloud9's timeout straight after winning the pistol. Making sure they do not waste this opportunity. Of course, in typical fashion, we have a force buy in round 2. Bomb plant allows for glills.
Yeah, we talk about that opening matchup from the other day. I think it's important to note here, Cloud9 opened that on the CT side. That was where they went 11-4 up, right? Yeah. So they have that foundation. They have the knowledge that they had this second half still to play. And this also raises the question, what have IHC learned from that game? They had a lot to go back and look at there. We never really got to see that T-side get going. So much legwork had already been done by Cloud9 the first time that these teams met up.
A focal point of that were middle takes for Cloud9, sending a lot of triple mid. Shiro getting a lot of space. Open connector as well. And actually kind of missed some flashes sometimes, missed some chances. The util has been a lot better ever since that point. They're going to pop into ramp, but Techno's ready for it, and Scores opened up as well. They're going to run wild on this site. The Galil's overwhelmed Cloud9. The pause is for naught as they're left in a 2-on-5. Got to frag their way out of this fight. Axel wins one, but they're coming for him. Through the smoke goes Score. He's going to hear Axel running up top mid, surely, and he looks the right way. Smoke gives Axel some room. Don't need to waste this chance, so Techno comes in and helps out with his third kill of the round. And Buster, he's being hunted. This is a ruthless second round for IHC.
Let's talk Techno 4K, shall we? Because he's had a big round here. 3 in the force buy. Instrumental to making this happen. At 17 years old, he was one of the players you might have heard about first from this IHC squad, right? He was a very tantalizing prospect because of how young he was and the skill that he was displaying. God, they even complete the hunt. But yeah, for Techno, he opened this series looking pretty weak on Inferno. He was kind of the one identifiable problem piece, and so it did fall to the rest of the squad to make up for that. It was a tremendous undertaking to expect him to be able to rebuild such a young player, lacking that kind of growth and maturity that some of these other guys on the squad have. But he's doing it right now. A huge 3K round to find an 8th for IHC and keep them competitive in this second half. Force back in for Cloud9. A heavy A-side lean. IHC. And that opening matchup, they showed that they love these A-hits. They loved giving that a go. That's a Cloud9 are trying to play with that idea. Really stacking this side of the map out. Will this ever become a back and forth? That's what we're about to find out. Or will it be IHC springboarding themselves into the lead here and now?
Yeah, Techno was part of Checkmate, the prior core of this team. Played alongside bLitz, the captain, and Bartak back in that roster for a couple of years over the pandemic. Definitely got the eyes of their current captain. But funnily enough, it's Cabal, the most experienced player, the guy from the Mongols team. The first time you would have heard of Mongolian Counter-Strike all the way back in 2016, 2017. That's not even here. They don't even have their most experienced player. They have these young players, these 16, 17, 18-year-olds, and they're still wreaking havoc right now. Scores up short and scores on the doors. This is a 9th round for IHC. Cloud9 stack clowned on as IHC already spread their wings and look for these exits. That's also just the most impressive part, though. The fact that Cabal, who isn't just that experienced player, but often is the highest fragger in this team, who's going to keep people cool, could not even attend. He just had a kid over Christmas, you know. Congratulations to the guy. I'm sure he's watching on right now with a big smile on his face. And it has to feel great as this 6-man lineup, without the dad of the team, is watching these kids tear up on Cloud9. Even scoreline in the second half. Another Eco Force save over for Cloud9. Another attempt at a random gamble stack, perhaps. It's always a good option in rounds like these. But for now, IHC are building up bank early in the half.
Yeah, chance to tango with that force buy again, though, right? That's the nature of the beast for Cloud9 in that round. Big part of calling a stack like that is you have to come to terms early with the fact that if they go to the right place, they've earned the round. And so you just have to go again. Fast for IHC into middle. Don't have to worry about that orb. Don't have to worry about these rifles. And score, my God. Lovely little tap to find Axile. An early 5v4 versus this second attempt at that force buy. Hobbit locked in this fight, but score waits down in the connector. Spam damage going to make life a bit miserable for Hobbit. He wanted to try and chase down this kill on the reload, but just elects to get out of there. IHC are not jumping the gun on this round. A 5v4 versus only pistols, it might sound easy, but with Cloud9 so prone to going for these gambles, nothing is given, nothing is safe, and nothing is certain. They're taking their time, trying to piece together where this stack is.
And it's Nafany who's having a very rough game, is alone anchoring the A site. You don't even have Hobbit here, which, you know, this is his whole home right now. And he's low and gambling towards B. Nafany hears nothing. They don't know he's here, and they bwon't be coming out of Palace, so they've got to clear this manually. Don't go for the plant before that fact, but the bomb is at least a long way out. Oh my God, right by him, but bLitz climbs over. Thank goodness for it. They're going to check their corners, clear out the site, and hunt the stack on B. Score, hello, takes the kill, yeah, may as well. It's just a scout on Shiro, picked up from the body. And looking to put it to use. He's found a kill, but it's going to be no more. 10 rounds to IHC on the precipice of this upset. And again, not only, Harry, internally was I expecting Cloud9 to close the first map, I again came into this one with the same predisposition. Now it must be drawn under question, put under the microscope, because they are only 6 rounds away from eliminating another team from Katowice. And not a sleeper either. They already beat up Brazil, and now they want more.
Last play up the catwalk, Nafany trying his damnedest to shut it down, but they do make it up through the short side into the stack at B. They're fighting forward, caught on the weapon switch, but Bartak is still a threat, still in the round, in with a chance. Axal spammed out, low HP on Buster. But he's just trying to play the long game here, trying to stay alive, be the thorn in the side of IHC. Bartak fakes the run through on this smoke. Swing it short, and Nafany will be there to hold the line. Cloud9 repel that B offensive. IHC didn't realize they were walking into that triple lean until it was already too late. And so now we reach an even keel. Both squads, 10-10. All in on this round. Most notably, Cloud9 are lacking that AWP.
Yeah, nice round out of Nafany, though. He has had a bit of a tricky series, and it seemed like they were just dodging his shots on that cat split through the smoke, but he comes out with 2 kills and shuts down the Bartak clutch, and he was clearly feeling it in that 1v4. He was clearly giving it all he had. Smoke on the molly, keeps score standing top middle. IHC walking in underplay. Cloud9, you can tell they're a little bit more scared than last time they played. Far less attention on middle in this CT side. Yet to be a problem, but it shows they respect their opponent a lot more than that BO1 opener. And for good reason. They've been made to fear these players after Inferno. All right, silent drop style. Okay, well, you tried. That's all that matters. That's especially good if you hit that silent drop if there's an AWP on the angle. You can walk into it and catch it unaware, but talk of unaware, they don't know whether there's an AWP in play. And as you already said, Harry, there's not. Shiro's back on a rifle and connector. Kind of uncertain where this is ending. It looks like B from positions for IHC. They don't have any A control right now, but Cloud9, a blanket of smokes and mollies in middle. They lose all info. Eyes very much off the prize as IHC set up on short to go again and split this site.
Scores in ladder room. Going to be able to come in on this split. Might even be able to find Nafany in window. Buster just gets that spot on the jump.
Nice.
Going to trigger that molly to come out. With so little time left, that could make all the difference. You're really working with some slim margins here if you're IHC. The entries have got to be flawless, and they're not ready for Buster. Axal in at the bench, does what he does best. Delivers hope right when they needed it, dropping the bomb. And so even though IHC get these kills, they get the entries, it's too little, too late.
I don't know if they would have even had time for the plant, but Bartak prioritized that kill instead of going for the bomb. He had to grab that bomb if he was ever going to win the round and go for the stick, but he tried to trade Axal instead. And, you know, at that point, you've got to rely on your teammates in that moment. 6 seconds when he was falling out of the sky. I think he probably could have got a plant in, but, you know, obviously it's down to whether his teammates cover him at that point. You have to just assume they will. No round win. And that was an excellent Molotov for Cloud9 in the final few seconds to slow down that hit. Yes, they smoked it, but it wasted just a couple more, and that's all it took for Cloud9 to win the round. But by God, what a slim margin to win a rifle round when the game is this tight right now. 6 seconds, and 1 when he went for the plant. So, you know, it's up for debate anyway. But a nice round out of Cloud9. They hold on. And it doesn't matter how you get there. It just matters that you get there. Cloud9 trying to send us kicking and screaming into overpass. IHC, again, no interest in middle. They really have adapted since that first BO1. They have not gone for a mid-take yet, with the exception of just score out behind the boxes or going up cat in the gun round. full exec over A. That molly is lovely as well. It's going to burn out Hobbit. He has to drop his smoke, and it's all a fake. Look at Cloud9 falling for it. 4 players have moved over. There was so much util, and now they go for a mid-take. This is out of nowhere. This is out of pocket, and Cloud9 are going to be confused.
Yeah, this is not what you're expecting with this volley of util.
Wow.
They found such a huge gap. They start to pull players over towards this B side of the map. Cloud9, they realize that they might have been rumbled here. It's all a ruse. Buster blinded by his teammates, fighting for his life, trapped at the back of the site. He desperately needs help, but the nade's gonna find him. Nafany and Shiro might be here, but someone's gonna be that hero piece. Shiro, he's really taken it upon himself in this series to try get the job done, but this one is written off. IHC, they throw a bit of misdirection the way of Cloud9, and they fall for it. Hook, line, and sinker. And I think that showcases where the brains of Cloud9 are at right now, right? That volley of util comes in. It looks like a full A-side take. They panic rotate everyone over towards that side of the map. And IHC, they find the gaps that have opened up. Cloud9 left with their heads in their hands as they save at the end of this one. No money in the next. So IHC are teed up nicely to take the lead all over again.
I can barely blame Cloud9 for rotating there, right? Like they're barely shuffling. All they did was pull one B player out of the site, and that's all IHC needed right there. That was an execute that was clearly not a one-man throw all these smokes on timers. No, everything came over at the same time. 3 smokes, a molly, double flash. Cloud9 had good reason to rotate there. It's how quickly the adaptation comes. They throw the smokes. We get a top con smoke late, 15 seconds after the default smokes, and then they run up catwalk, and Cloud9 have no eyes on middle, and that was the point of contention in that BO1. That was the area IHC couldn't win. They get up cat, they split. The mistake for Cloud9 is in communication, because what do they do to the solo B player? They throw a front sight flash. Nothing wrong with that. It would have helped Buster, but he looks right into the sun and has his retinas burned out. Caught in the open, and Cloud9 and IHC get that info. They know exactly where he is. That's a communication issue more than anything for Cloud9, and it's going to cost them a rifle round.
Yeah, I think it was Nafany who lobbed the flash. He was that first player rotating around, so I'm assuming it was, and that's not great to come from your leader, right, from the IGL of the squad. Don't know if it was calmed and not heard. There's a lot of chaos in a moment like that, but it's going to hurt. It's going to get in your head. Shiro tries his hand at the opener, and now they disassemble that boost. That opportunity just sails right past him.
That looked dead on. You're not going to get many more of those. Look at the buy. It's a couple of itty-bitty pistols. Forced, by the way. Not Cloud9 ecoing around the saved guns. No, forced. And so the pressure is on for Cloud9 to actually make this round worthwhile, or they will be dug an economical hole, and this should be 13-11 as a result. Techno low. Did he get legged? Looks like it. Wait, he was deep in B. Did Shiro wallbang him? Maybe we can get a replay. He was in the B site at the time. I think he might have wallbanged him. That's crazy.
Yeah, you can't overcook this round, right? Even with just a hero AWP, they're still super deadly on the side of Cloud9. Shiro, he's been that guy. He's put the hero back in his name, but spelt right. Bartak gonna get pressured after dropping that molly.
Nice
Tries
kill.
his best to hold on, but Nafany will get the better of him. Low on health, sure, but a serious foothold lost over towards A. That's going to trigger the B play, but look at where this AWP is. Shiro waiting in the site. Buster blindsided, and so now Shiro's got to do it. First shot misses, second shot does not connect. Out of ammo, out of chances, and out of time for Cloud9. IHC are all over them in this round. The hero AWP looked so keen to get involved. It had opportunities, it had chances, but it left us wanting. For IHC, a huge break in the action after winning that one there. The money broke for Cloud9. IHC know the implications of winning that round. They know this is their chance to put a bit of distance between them and this Cloud9 squad.
And you can see Cloud9 crumbling in front of your very eyes. What an awful mistake for Buster to make. He's holding a nade, and he's not even jump spotting B. What an issue, what an error. Back-to-back rounds, the B anchor solo lets Cloud9 down. And that time it was his fault. That time there's no blaming your team flash. It's all on Buster. Shiro missed shots as well. That opener he doesn't hit. He goes on to miss the flicks inside of the site. Those are the ones Shiro always connects. You know Cloud9 feel this pressure more than ever, and IHC are living in it. They are breathing it. Full Palace push, or ramp rather. Bartak, he's dead. There's too many targets, but that's enough info. He's seen a couple at least. It might just keep the pace up. Kick a notch up for IHC. They hear this rotation. Easy kill for Score. He can flank B, and the bomb can come in through apartments. Another round looks to be locked in. It was always meant to be IHC's against pistols, and now they just make it so. Avoiding the issue, avoiding the stack. And I cannot believe what we are watching, but this is the capitulation of Cloud9 in front of your very eyes. Last year in Kato, Harry, they made it to the playoffs. All the way. And yeah, they fell apart on the stage. Crowd against them, world against them. But now they might not get out of groups.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that was always the thing, right? That was why with these changes coming down the pipeline for Cloud9, you were hoping that it was going to be, you know, problem pieces fixed, this squad struggling in those high-pressure environments, and we often attributed that to the crowd, but this one has huge pressure riding on it, staring that elimination dead in the face. It's getting ever closer, and it's IHC on the other side, the plucky Mongolian team that if you went back even a year ago, you wouldn't have dreamed of being in this position now. It's such a different mindset between these squads. For IHC, they're on the precipice of continuing their lower bracket run, of keeping the dream of Katowice alive, paying testament to how much this team has grown over the last couple of months. For Cloud9, it's that feeling of, oh no, it's happening again.
Yeah, and this is what worked in that BO1. This is what Cloud9 were getting away with. Rambunctious top mid pushes, bait and switch setups. The exact play we're seeing now, minus the AWP in con. They can't afford it this time. Run boost, sending the AWP right out into the open, and he doesn't see the player under the smoke, so Shiro will start strong. Forcing another fight up top mid. Score will not allow it. Pulling back with the bomb. But that's more likely for Cloud9. It's a round opening play. They don't need to keep fighting for middle off the back of it, so they choose to pull back. A better look at things for Cloud9, an intention coming into this round. The AWP removed. How will IHC respond?
We are seeing Shiro have that feeling that he has to be the man to influence these rounds. He has to be the player to make a difference. A missed window smoke is only going to give him more room to stalk his prey in mid. Coming out with a window swing, he adds another to the tally. He extends this man advantage for Cloud9, and then he disappears as quick as he arrived. Not going to give them a chance at the trade. They've got to come and seek him out in the window. Score finds Hobbit, but that's not the window player. They know that Shiro is here. Score's going hunting. Takes ladder room away. Gets the info that window's clear. This is the bomb on his back. And so just saving with the AWP in the ladder room. They want to try and remove it. They want to try and get rid of this gun, and they might. They've got him pinned in, boxed into a corner, but bLitz holds on. Watches his back in mid and makes that an expensive moment for Cloud9.
I mean, they can't really afford that, can they? They've bought up an AWP. It's straight in. That's the first thing they buy. But yeah, Cloud9 don't have a wealth of money. They don't have a streak of rounds. That was their first. So yeah, sure, they win the round, but they come out with empty pockets, Harry, and that means IHC, again, are primed for reset. I think a lot of this series has come down to economy. It's part of the talking point that Kassar brought into the desk, right? With Cloud9 chasing those force buys at the start of Inferno. Bartak with a mid-spawn, took it and went for a pick. Moonwalking over Annihilation, trades it back. That was close. He almost found the window kill. Shiro's now comfortable in connector, and Nafany takes top mid instead. Oh, that's a play. They smoke the molly from outside of middle. It's going to make Cloud9 not only waste util, but scared that someone's behind boxes, so they actually concede middle entirely. Look at what it's done to them. Paranoia induced. And it means Cloud9 can't go with their original plan, which was taking middle. They're fine. They're still CT. They can sit back and relax. And IHC are challenged to make the next move, but they are patient with these executes. A minute now. And full smokes. 3 left up to run this A attack.
Yeah, Shiro's going to struggle to get involved here, right? These smokes should just cut him out of the picture and allow a route in, but they go ahead of this util. They go ahead of the smokes blooming. The flashes will connect. Hobbit responds from CT, opens this round up for Cloud9. An early 5v4, attempt denying the plant for Shiro, but it's a matter of pixels away. Flash is great. Shiro is burning alive and finished off by bLitz. 4v4, the dust settles. The smokes will too soon. Bartak and Techno have come up with kills so quickly, so suddenly. Cloud9 were poising for a retake, but it's snuffed out. It's taken away. And on the back of that, their money is gone. IHC have never been in a better position in their life. They've got such a good chance to take this one over the line now. Cloud9 are faced with this gut-wrenching decision. Do they force or do they play for the OT?
Yeah, these plucky underdogs already eliminated world number 9 from IEM Katowice just the other day. Now they're looking at to add world number 12 on top of that list. We have never quite seen it. Unbelievable. And that was another 5v4 for Cloud9, Harry. That was Hobbit taking the first kill in CT and giving up the site, and they burn out Shiro with flashes. IHC, chock full of star players, and Cloud9 feeling it, washing over them right now. Eco for overtime, a comeback team. It's their bread and butter, but it doesn't feel like a normal day for C9. They're going to have to find 3 in a row. IHC can't waste this opportunity. They are being given match point.
When the changes happened, some folks were left feeling a little underwhelmed, right? They were questioned, was Buster and Intez the missing piece?
And it's not a honeymoon period. Right now, it's Cloud9 getting served divorce papers.
IHC 15 should come for free here. Annihilation opens it up. With each kill, they can feel it happening. But they don't go fast. They don't jump the gun. They know these stacks are still a factor. It's all in, laser focus, composure. They lose Annihilation over at jungle. Score attempts to move in and take this real estate. Shiro with a P250 and a dream. All alone in the B site is dead, flushed out by bLitz. And so this one will not get exciting. It won't get action-packed for Cloud9. Locked out and playing for overtime. But they knew the stakes. They knew that with this eco, they weren't going to win this round. They were believing in getting 3 in a row to force this one into OT.
That gun. Oh, drive-by. Axel's got a rifle. They've still got him trapped in window, though. He's got to fight for his way out, and Techno will not allow it. Even gets that AWP as well. IHC, these rounds could not be going better, and it's being led by bLitz, the captain, and Techno, the kid, to put these rounds on the board. I've never seen such an improvement in such a short space of time since the Rio Major. Since the play-in, Cloud9 16-5 them on Mirage. Nothing of the sort. They can feel it.
They had that problem closing out a match like this versus Furia, right? Only 3 chances to get it over the line, and Cloud9 are a comeback team, but IHC, they've been the underdog in every game they've played. Expectations have been low, and they've exceeded them every step of the way. Shiro brings this back into the 4v4, gives Cloud9 that faint glimmer of hope to hold on to. But IHC will not let it deter them. They want mid. They want to go for the throat on this one. They want to lay it to rest before that word comeback even crosses your mind. Nice. Nafany down in the connector. Such an important kill. That's the bomb over at short, and Shiro adds another to the tally. score dead. Annihilation, bottom performer for IHC in the 1v4. Couldn't do this versus Furia, and he won't do it versus Cloud9. That's 13, and they're still in the game.
Thank goodness for Cloud9. They keep it clean as well. Even when they've run out with rounds in the CT side, it's been so costly. They've lost players. They've not saved the AWP here and there. Shiro's not had his prime weapon. He does this time. And Nafany puts up the round-winning kill from Connector. Cloud9 must be considered as competitors in these last 2 rounds because they have been in many of these positions before and not faltered. But IHC are in no hurry to end the day. Timeout, get ahead of it. And they've got 2 full buy rounds. Cloud9 won't be putting them on eco. Won't be making them decide like IHC did to them. Annihilation's off the AWP. Having a bit of a stinker, but may lean into a faster round just to change.
Yeah, I think it's going to take as well a lot more than 1 lost round to shake the faith of IHC.
They're going to fast split com with an X-Sec. They're throwing in everything. They've got 3 players lining up smokes, and Cloud9 have 2 players inside the site.
They go slow after that initial volley. Not the commit, but Axile over in mid has kind of dealt with the split component of this round. Annihilation's left there alone. Hobbit up on the balcony. They've been mollying this in the past, but this time they try to walk it contact, and they're going to come to regret that. Hobbit lines up the double. Annihilation dead in mid. 1 round away from overtime for Cloud9. IHC, this is the last chance they're going to have for now to close this series out and eliminate Cloud9. 1 opportunity, 1 chance to make it happen, all or nothing.
And those are the hardest rounds. Once we enter overtime, we always say the experienced team comes out on top. This one should be no exception. Cloud9 are going to get this opportunity. They're not going to waste it. IHC, for a moment, looking like a historic matchup, could still be forgotten if Cloud9 get their way here. And that would be a heartbreak.
This is where, you know, the dawning realization, that feeling of excitement, anticipation, this is where it can start to work against you if you're IHC, because just a few rounds ago, you had multiple chances to close this out. Taking middle again.
No.
Axile getting involved, but only good for the first. Immediate trade for score.
You'll take that.
Retrieves the AWP as well. Keeps them in this. The 4v4. And Shiro might try and make a play here. Missed window smoke. This fight decides so much. He's hidden in the mid smoke. bLitz crosses past them. Right next to the enemy.
Nafany can't escape.
Nafany is stuck here, out in no man's land. First kill for bLitz, but the trade, it's not going to come through. bLitz with the double. The captain of IHC has teed them up with a chance. Techno 4K is in the B site. He's taken this real estate. The bomb is moving in. Shiro and Buster are both here, but they won't be able to stop that bomb going down. It's decided in a 2v2 retake. Techno at the bench. Bartak alongside him. And now they wait. An hour's labor, all for this opportunity. Young gun Techno. It's in this moment that he's feeling more pressure than he has in his career ever before. Buster moving up the short side. Shiro starting to close the net from Market. This smoke, Techno's trying to hide in it. Spammed, but not taken out of the round yet. He's got to do this all alone. The young gun of IHC, and he takes it over the line. The Butcher of Ulaanbaatar steps up with a double kill, and IHC eliminate Cloud9 from IEM Katowice.
From playoffs last year to grouped in 2023, the first game Cloud9 have lost to an underdog since the Antwerp Major. And somehow, some way, These plucky youngsters from Mongolia put them in the bin, not just Fury.